It's been a weird day.
Hello and welcome to welcome echoes to Empyrean Wilds, episode 4, a Cypher system-based TTRPG. Yeah, we're already 4 episodes in. I am Evie, the Disaster
Weird.
GM. My pronouns are she, they, or any, and I am the game runner for this fine of disastrous group. Let's go ahead and go around and do our intros. As you may be able to see, Matt, who plays Fang, is currently not with us today. Real life has called and Matt answered. He'll be back next time. We'll start today with Maggie.
That's me. Oh my god, hi. Hi, I'm Maggie. I use they, she pronouns. I'm playing Sybil, who uses she, her pronouns. And Sybil is, hold on, I can't read. An impulsive adept who is a walking dream and sees beyond.
Ooh. Very cool.
Ooh, nice.
Awesome.
Spooky, scary.
And let's jump over to Amanda.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda. I use she, her pronouns. Today I am playing Varen Lek, who also uses she, her pronouns, the weird adept who dances with dark matter and siphons power.
Ooh, cool. Joel.
Hello, I'm Joel. I use any pronouns. I'm going to be playing the disaster that is Bao Misforge, who uses she, her pronouns. She's an appealing speaker who rises from the depths and shepherds spirits.
All right. Very cool. And last but certainly not least, our wonderful artist, Alina.
Hey, everybody. It is me, Alina. I am they, them, and I am playing Kale, who's also they, them. And they are an empathic explorer who helps their friends and has the soul of a dragon.
All right. Awesome. So, thank you for joining us. I completely forgot to do all of our live now announcements across the various Discords and socials. I will be doing that during our rolling in.
Cool.
Empyrean Wilds is a sequel campaign to Empyrean Rising that was finished last year. And we run every other Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific on Twitch and Moonbeam stream at the Anywhere Door Realm. If you happen to be on Moonbeam, come over and check us out there. Very fun. And then uploads to YouTube thereafter because my computer can only handle so much going out at one time. Yeah, so like and follow if you are watching on whatever service so that you can be notified when we happen to go live. We are also raising funds for the Trans Women of Color Collective. TWOCC has a mission to uplift the narratives, leadership, and lived experiences of trans and gender nonconforming people of color while building towards the collective liberation of all oppressed people. Donate if you can. Scan the QR code. You can also check their website out, which will be in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or in chat if you are watching on Twitch. TWOCC. There we go. And if someone in the audience is currently in our Twitch and Moonbeam chats, I would highly appreciate copying and pasting, as we do not have a command to drop it there yet. But AEA and its affiliates receive no portion of the donations given through the Twitch the Twitch link, and you can check them out at any point if you would like to do so. With all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and roll into focusing on today's session. As a content warning, we at the Archives would like to remind you that this is an adult content rated game with depictions of violence and gore, possible mentions of loss or trauma, and or similar content. We do our best not to cross each other's lines, but for those watching, you have been warned. Last time, still on the boat sailing away from that first town where they had met Fang, the group had finally gathered back together after Sybil and Kale had a little spa day conversation up in the crow's nest, and Pico fell asleep, unconscious. They weren't quite sure. there were conversations had about how there may also be danger to the Council of Icenbridge because Islanus wanted them either dead or alive, depending on who you ask. And they were not sure if their allies on the Icenbridge Council were safe because of that. Then they also realized that Sybil could attempt to see into the dream of little copper dragon Pico. Slipped in, saw some weird shit, and Pico's deep fucking voice in comparison to "Hi, I'm Pico." But yeah, it was an event that Pico did not actually remember living through, despite potentially being one of his past lives. Sybil pulled Kale into the dream. They tried to figure out what was going on, investigated one of the bodies of the humanoids that were fighting the various dragons that were at war with them there. And Kale ripped off one of the spalders, a piece of armor, off of one of those bodies and tossed it to Sybil so that potentially they would be able to try and either recreate it or remember it back in the real world. And then when Sybil went, "All right, let's go. This is bad. This is really bad. This is bad, 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 and I don't want to be here anymore." Sybil was able to easily slip back out of the dream because that is what Sybil does. Sybil was unfortunately not able to drag Kale with them, even though she had managed to bring Kale into the dream. So while they all stood around trying to figure out how to wake Kale up from this magical sleep, and Kale gradually started turning into their dragon form, multiple attempts were made, including splashing them with water, slapping them once or twice, and Fang somehow, in their panic, looked at it and was just like, "This is not supposed to be happening," and somehow affected fate to where that last slap on the face did manage to wake Kale up. While Kale was standing up and trying to recover and remember what exactly happened, Sybil finally passed Pico back over, created via Dreamcraft that spalder that they had seen, and passed it around for people to take a look at and see if they remembered. It seemed vaguely familiar to certain people, and then one of the crew happened to recognize it, despite the theoretical ancientness of this event. The spalder had been seen actually on a person in Bal's past, and we left on Bal revealing where they were from and that they were the child of some sort of important or potentially even political figure, either allied to or working with the city-state of Islanus. But we are on the boat. You guys are maybe 30 minutes until the boat will dock at its next location. The sky is overcast, but not rainy. You're making good time, and you've just experienced this oh so wonderful and not quite traumatic event, maybe, with the information revealed to you by Val.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm. I fully think that Sybil has the entire time just been like staring at Ball and has not surprisingly asked a lot of questions, but is just kind of sitting behind them, writing furiously in a notebook, just being like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right, yeah. That's where I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Ball. I know it's not something that you wish to speak of, but I think it has become important given what I saw in that dream. Of course, obviously that might have happened centuries ago. We don't know precisely when, but usually if I see something in dreams, there's something, it ties to something that's going on now.
That's surprising,
So,
considering.
What? Why? Why is it surprising?
I said not surprising.
Oh, not surprising.
Yeah, considering everything that we've gone through.
I just want to point out that we could have had this conversation like a long time ago, and it would have maybe like we could have gone into this already knowing these things, but that's okay. Never mind. We're not fighting. I'm just saying you could have told us. That's all.
Sybil, have
So
you told me in literally every single detail about your life?
I think so at this point.
You have you have not. But even so, sometimes people prefer to be private about their past, especially when they're not really fond of it.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
How tense about this reveal of your past would you say you currently are, Val?
Uh Honestly, very tense. The only reason that Bal is even touching on the subject is because Kale asked,
Okay.
and Bal cannot say no to Kale.
Yes.
aw,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
aw.
So please roll me a d20.
Oh God. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna use Senor Fluffington's dice because I don't have the other ones here. 3.
3. Okay. Um,
You're
so
real
yeah,
nice.
like
Perfect.
the it's almost absent that like having used the water to splash it on Kale's face and attempting to wake them up, you controlled the water to go back into your water skin so that you still had it on hand should you need to use it as like a shield. And so as you're having this not quite confrontation with Sybil, you hear the slosh of it in Bal's water skin, almost as if it's reacting to her mood. And Kale, please make an observation roll.
Can do. Do I get my reading people bonus?
No, this is not for that.
Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay. I have a 12.
Okay. You see a flicker of something or someone standing behind Bal, and then it's gone.
Kale blinks a little bit and like rubs at their eyes, takes off the glasses, and will scrub them on their shirt and put it back on.
What? Yeah? What are you looking at?
Sorry, I think the dreams are still lingering. Perhaps it's a good time to rest and take a little time for ourselves until we arrive at our location.
Should be soon. To a 7 post haste.
Well, Corey, aside from having come over to attempt to help wake Kale, had been following your orders to get the boat moving a little bit faster, and you guys had steered further into the southern current to take yourself a little bit faster and further south. Having both Kale and Sybil come down from the crow's nest, your
Probably
normal
helps.
person on watch has gone back up and is helping to direct and orientate the boat on where it is and how far along you guys are. Are you guys just going to kind of hang out on deck until you reach the town, the little seaside town, or are you going to go off and do things?
I think Bal is gonna drown in work unless somebody requires her assistance.
Nope, Kale's getting involved.
Kale's getting involved. So you like
great.
just
Kale's gotta
bring
try
the
and
like
manage
groggy.
everybody.
At this point, also Pico has curled up into its dormant form. So he has gone back to teapot instead of being unconscious miniature dragon.
All right. So Kale is going to try and manage people and make sure that Sybil has gone off somewhere far away from Ball.
Sybil is in the kitchen working on her potions.
Okay.
Great. And
Okay.
then they are going to sort of shadow Ball and just make it clear that they're there if she wants to talk, but they're not forcing the matter.
Okay.
By standing directly behind them at all times.
Yes. Just be
Sounds right.
within sight.
Sounds right. Perfect.
Yep. I'm sure
Varen,
there's plenty of moments where Kale's just like making eye contact with Ball, and Ball is like, nope.
are you still playing tag along with Corey?
I am.
Okay. Because
So just for context, I was there watching this entire exchange and just being like, I'm just so glad I'm here.
yeah, just kind of
Wonderful
smiling,
friends.
just like, oh yeah,
I'm just watching the
You got
exchange and being like,
friends.
oh, there's a history here. Okay.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. You're
Can
just happy
I-
to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can read why Varen's hanging out with Corey so much.
That's up to you guys.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
are you cool with that?
absolutely. Yes.
Awesome. I'm just gonna see how 14. But I'm good at reading people.
Yeah,
So, I don't know
it
if
would
that
be
helps.
it would be considered having an asset. So consider that 14 to be like a 15 at least.
Okay.
It is very
of what's going on.
It is very obvious that Varen just has no idea what she is doing and is just following Corey because Corey seems like they know, but also Corey's like very attractive. So
I'm just gonna
she's just
I'm
gonna
gonna
follow.
get that. I'm gonna file that away in the vault
Mhm.
and just smile to myself and continue shadowing Ball.
Okay, so we've got, and then like Fang probably also is in the middle of doing something on the ship, perhaps being useful, perhaps not. It is kind of up in the air with all of you as to whether or not you are useful in the moment actually on the boat itself, because working on the boat seems to be a as you will it perspective from most of you.
Just a bunch of idiots milling around.
You do have actual sailors there that are
Yep.
hired to do that. So, but yeah, so we've got Varen following Corey around as he helps to like direct people. Okay, yeah, we need to move faster. Varen, give me an intellect roll.
Oh boy. Ooh, that was a 4.
Okay. Because Corey has only been doing this for about 3-ish months. So he seems to know what he's doing. I mean, he's mostly talking to people, but he seems to know what he's doing, probably. Sybil,
This is the biggest boat that Varen's ever been on, and so she's just like, wow, Corey just knows so much about boats and boating.
Yep,
Adorable.
yep. And Sybil has gone off to work on potions. Bal, you're burying self in some work?
Yes,
Okay.
I am going to be literally anything that Bal can find that needs doing
Mhm.
that she would normally delegate to the people whose job is to do those things, she will instead just do. Like she's in full sailor mode, just
Okay. So you
whole
would know that with the imminent arrival at the last port that you had a delivery to, there are certain things with getting the package ready that needs to be done, and normally you would delegate that to Corey or one of the people below decks. You would be able to also do that yourself because it's fairly easy but time consuming.
I'll do that.
So yeah, you would follow Val down below decks to the storage hall and like watch as she like shuffles supplies around to get to the like small chest-sized package that you guys picked up in Icenbridge.
I
It's like
will
going through the ledger and
unobtrusively
stuff.
offer to help, like not even saying anything out loud, but just being there to assist. And I'm not pressuring her to talk at all. I'm just
Okay.
another pair of hands. If she wants to talk, I'm also here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like it's basically about you're going through checks on like any damage that it might have sustained in travel, which so far does not seem to be any. But you still have to do the check over, verify it against the ledger, etc., etc., etc. So it would take you just long enough to where like you guys would be arriving essentially. Um,
Yeah.
are you going to respond at all to the fact that Kale is just kind of hovering?
I think for a solid maybe 10 minutes, there is no indication that the bow has even noticed Kale.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point, she just sighs, like just really deeply, and goes, Kale, can I help you?
I would ask the same question of you. You don't have to speak, and I know what it cost you when I asked you, but just know that I'm here if you need me. And I'll like put a hand on your shoulder and just give you a little squeeze.
It's squishy.
Yeah, it's fine. The Kale has gotten very used to the whole tentacle arm thing.
Yeah, it's been months.
They don't mind. Yeah, that's just how Ball is now.
Always. I don't. Sorry, I
Always.
just knocked
Yeah.
my desk over almost. Sorry. Um, I think there's just like the most softest like nod, and then just there's not really anything to talk about. There's the past refusing to be it. Yes.
Does Ball seem like she'd be amenable to a hug?
She doesn't seem that way, but I think Kale would know that. Again, Val would be okay with Kale specifically.
Yeah. Then if there's no one in this hold at the time, then Kale will, with one hand on the shoulder, sort of pull you into a hug and just give you a little squeeze, just reassurance.
It's like an immediate like the fence is down, hugs back type of
Aw.
thing going on.
Oh, so
This is probably since the last time Kale has hugged Val, this is probably the first time. Like, pretend I said that, but smart. It hasn't been hugging a long time. Is the point?
Yes.
What I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yeah. And Kale doesn't say anything. They just hold you as long as you need to, and then let you pull away whenever you're ready.
okay.
Takes a while.
Okay. Um, so with that very sweet, comforting hug, we'll say that you guys managed to make it to port, where Val would be able to, having witnessed the events of the previous time that Val let the group join the crew on shore.
That went great.
Probably send it via delivery to the individual. You guys have maybe an hour at port, and it is a very, very small shoreside town that is just on the border of Carthok and Polyerna. That like there's a couple of like shops and things that you can potentially see from the docks, and maybe a warehouse or two, and you have no idea because Belle probably does not share with you who the deliveries are to, who could potentially be affording a custom, like individualized delivery by you guys from Bridge, but I'm gonna bet that it doesn't take long to get delivered, the money to be collected, and various other supplies, including some more fresh water, which you guys had missed the last time, being brought on board. During this period of time, you do have a moment to discuss with your helmsman and navigator. Where are you heading to? What is your plan? You knew you wanted to head generally southward towards that weird impending sensation that Kale had felt, and further away from the north where Islanus is. But do you have a specific goal in mind? Are you going to go to Polyarna's primary city on the coast? Are you going to try and catch one of the small shoreside towns? Are you going to skip that entirely? What's the plan? Where are you going?
What is the plan, guys?
What is the plan?
What is the
Our
plan?
plan.
That's why I messaged you between sessions going, okay, these are your options.
Yep.
Have an idea of what you want to do. Hey,
Did
Vog.
I have how specific was my feeling? Just kind of that away.
That away. Like,
Okay.
southward-ish. It was far enough away to where it's not that you're able to get, like, a particular ping of direction. It's
Yeah.
in that approximate movement over there.
Kale would have studied the map at some point to try and be like, what is over that way? Is the main port in Polyarna vaguely
So-
that direction?
Yes, because like there is Polyarna as the agricultural city-state. Its primary city, just like Eisenbridge's primary city, because all of the city-states have a primary city and then like small villages that come to them. It's sort of like little baronies.
Right.
So Polyarna's primary city-state is a very large port city that is on the coast. And in the direction that you are traveling, because it's kind of southeast is where you felt that, would be Polyarna's primary city-state, but also Polyarna itself. If you're looking at the map, the mountains and the vague shape that is assumed to be the landmass that's on the other side of the mountains that ends the peninsula. That is not a city-state, it is not settled, so it doesn't have a depicted name on the map. You guys had previously discussed its existence when you initially met Varen off-screen, but it is not considered to be part of the collective.
Bal, would you be amenable if we put in at the main port in Polyarna, and I'll just see if I have any specific feelings about any location beyond that?
No, that's not a problem. So,
All right. I imagine there's cargo there that you could take on board.
I'll figure something out. Yeah.
All right. And I don't know, keep my eyes open, I suppose.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Leave it to the two competent people.
Yeah, so it is almost sundown. Are you going to just sleep on deck at dock here, since it's already conveniently, like, you're able to weigh anchor and just rest here?
Rest.
Or are you guys going to, like, go out onto the ocean and rest with the sailors doing watch?
I think because of the chaos of the last stop, I think I'll let the sailors have shore leave for the night.
Okay.
Give them a chance to recoup, rest,
Okay.
do everything. So we'll probably stay docked. Val will not leave the ship though.
Okay.
Right.
Are you going to encourage the others to also not leave the ship, or are you just going to leave them to their devices?
Bal is 100% on the I don't want to people right now.
Okay.
So as soon as we dock, she makes sure that the trade goes through fine. As soon as there's no more that's done, she's either working on getting the ship ready for just sail off or take off next time, and once that's done, it's just she's gonna just lock herself. Well, not lock herself, but be in her cabin.
Okay. So mark down for the delivery 635 clip.
Nice.
600. How much? Sorry.
635 clip.
We have money.
What?
Ooh. Well, Ball has money.
Okay.
We are also there.
We have money, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Collectively?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of wee shit going on around here
No.
for people who don't work.
So since you guys are docked, are you going to fetch anything or stay on shore, or are you just going to kind of camp out on the ship, ready to leave early in the morning for the rest of you?
We're all staring at Sybil.
Yeah, we are. Every single one of us.
Interesting. Love that. I think Sybil has just been playing potions for like the last
Aw.
like this conversation happened and she went into the kitchen and shut the door and has not come out since.
Yeah. And normally there is a fire watch, someone standing by with a bucket of water just in case, because as we discussed between sessions, Sybil did make some attempts at potion making during the interim time between campaigns, and one of those was a natural one, which did almost result in a fire on ship, which resulted in Bao having someone just assigned to make sure that there is a way to put out the fire. So since you are playing potions, please make an intellect roll.
That is her task for the moment, is playing potions.
Good.
Hold on. That's a 5.
Okay.
She's mad at Ball and it is not going well.
Yeah, so you've like ruined a lot of your supply of things that you've just picked up to experiment with, but you've created an interesting little bit of sludge in a vial instead of a potion. You have no idea what it would do, but it's definitely not anything that you expect to work.
I think when she's fully run out of all of her shit is when she finally leaves, and whoever she finds first, whether that is actually no, she probably is gonna go look for Varen, because Kale wouldn't eat the potion that she's got, and is going to try and find Varen and be like, Varen, I made something.
I was like out of character. I was going to volunteer Varen to do this.
Tribute. Good.
Hey Varen,
Yes.
I made something.
Oh, what'd you make?
I have no idea. Do you want to try it?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you know what? I'd be delighted to try it out. You know, it's just like I hold up the vial. I'm like, what is it?
It is every kind of plant that I have found in the last like 3 shore leaves, and some other random chemicals that I brought with me from home. So I actually don't know that it's gonna do anything, but I can't really I can't take notes if I'm the one well, I guess I could. We can both take it. Hold on, where's Kale? We should have somebody watching.
We need an adult.
We need a trip sitter.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Kale is like, I imagine Kale is on the other end of the boat, and Sybil just like, hey Kale, and like holds up a vial, and then just like It's like, here, you can hands it over to
Kale
Varen.
immediately gets up and rushes over. Like, not like they want to take the potion, but that they know what's going to happen.
He's like, ah, shit, not this
So,
again.
so is this a dog with food in its mouth that it's not supposed to have as the owner rushes at it and they like quickly eat it? Or is this like, oh shit, I'm guilty, I'm not supposed to have this, I'm gonna slowly put it away? Like, which response is it, Varen? Because I know that it's got to be one of them.
I feel like it's definitely probably the first one.
Okay. So you shotgun the
Just
potion?
chug.
Yeah, I
Okay.
shotgun the potion. I'm like, you know what? It's, you know, I heard that they have these things that are like health potions that are like, you know, they put a bunch of like fruits and vegetables in them.
That
They're
is
supposed to be like
I
good for
don't
you.
think that's what this is, but I love your enthusiasm.
And so I take one. I just knock it back.
Okay. I'll say that there's also a little bit left if Sybil wants to make an attempt as well.
Go ahead, please. I'm not very fast. As soon as I see Varen down it, Kale stops running because they're like, hey, it's too late. I will clean up afterwards.
So, Varen, Maggie decides if Sybil is also partaking.
Yeah, she is. 100%.
Yeah, go for it.
So, like, Kale, you start running, you're just like, oh shit, no.
And then it's
And
already
then
glug,
Varen
glug,
is
glug,
like,
and I'm
oh,
like,
and you're just like, oh, fine. And then Varen hands it back to Sybil, and then you see Sybil tip back what's left of it. Let's also have might defense rolls from both of them.
Oh boy.
this is gonna be good.
I got a nat 20.
I got a 2.
You got a 2 and a nat 20. And you also have a nat 20
you're doing
banked from chat because Rozumsky gave you a nat 20, Varen.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you have that on tap for when you need it. Nat 20, you're fine. It tastes kind of sour and bitter at the same time, and a little bit charcoaly, like it's been burned and overcooked excessively. And then somehow, like, this really weird, sticky, gamey taste at the back of your throat. It's fairly nasty. I mean, Sybil rolled a 5. Sybil, at least you didn't get an out 1.
Oh boy.
So initially, you're just like, ugh, and it nearly comes right back up.
Good.
But you remember this sensation that follows. First, you take 3 points of might damage.
God damn it.
Ooh.
From
You don't have a lot of that.
I don't mean to laugh, but
very mildly poisoning yourself.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then you're just like, I remember this. I remember this sensation from when I consumed the expired potion.
Oh god, not that again.
Are you drunk again?
Yeah, you are considered thoroughly inebriated for the next hour.
Oh.
What can I say?
And
The
you
polyamorous
have
girls are just built different.
You just have a mild headache in addition, and you're kind of seeing a little blurry.
I need to sit down right now. I'm very dizzy.
Oh yes, and Kale will like rush past and grab you by the shoulders and guide you to like
hate
a
this.
barrel or
Oh
something.
my god, this was a mistake. Oh, I don't know what hold on. She's like flipping through her notes like, I don't know what I put in this, but it was very bad.
I would say
also, how are you feeling?
it was nasty. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, Sybil. It was very gross. I feel fine.
If you had not rolled a nat 20.
You're fine.
Like I said, polyamorous girls are just built different. What can I say?
All right, you seem to be able to hold your potions. Good. That's. I forgot to warn you about Sybil's potions. They're not always. Well, it's an experimental process, right? So
I'm not good at
unpredictable.
science.
Oh, I thought Sybil was a scholar. Okay, maybe I was mistaken about
Sybil
that.
is the foremost expert in potions, but it's sort of a lost art that hasn't been around for 100 years or so. And
Okay.
it's
So
unpredictable.
I mean, everyone has to start from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
once we've all had a few drinks, at some point, remind us to tell you the story about the first time we all took potions together.
This
It
is
was
what it feels like.
quite a night.
It's not good. I have to throw up, I think. Goodbye.
Oh, yes, over the side, over the side.
She's off.
So it's
And I will be your trip sitter. I will help you.
So
Rub
sorry.
back.
So it is a wonderful, wonderful evening, starting with that first hour of being thoroughly inebriated off of bad potion batch. During part of it, you do accidentally just go incorporeal for a good little bit of time and start sinking through the ship deck. Varen, you recognize this as very similar to what Fang had done when he was playing around with it in front of you, where it just slowly starts sinking through. And then, goes, oh, wait, no, and then pops back up. But beyond that, the evening is fairly inconsequential, especially with all of you staying aboard. Morning comes, and when the crew that had been given leave comes back, you set sail, and the direction is down towards Polyerna proper. Everybody can also go ahead and take a long rest.
Woo. 10-hour.
Yeah, the 10-hour recovery if you need, or various in between, but it is considered a 10-hour.
We also refresh all of our...
Yeah, your ciphers for the day are recovered, all of that stuff.
Hey, listen, it's weird if we, it's good if we long rest sometimes.
Yeah.
Unlike the entire last campaign.
Where we just never ever slept, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Famously.
That's
it was
considered
hard.
growth. That's growth.
Yeah, it was
We've
very
learned.
hard to get you guys to the point where you had rested last campaign. But yeah, so you are rested, you have slept. Sybil, with the experience with the bad batch potion, even you slept during your rest and didn't accidentally leech your way into anyone else's dreams overnight, which is
welcome everybody.
Very nice. But yeah, it is still a little bit overcast as you guys set sail. It's kind of a gloomy day, because the clouds and everything have rolled in overnight. Bal, you get the impression that a summer storm is on the way. But you've got a couple of hours, the majority of a day, if not a day and a half, depending on the weather, before you reach Polyerna proper. Are there any things that you guys want to do while you are on this trip prior to reaching there? Anything that you wanted to plan out, discuss, try and figure out? Stuff that you may have wanted to have the people attempt to find in supplies while they were on shore? Okay.
Go on.
In that case, if there's nothing that you guys had planned specifically, let's go ahead and have someone roll for watch for that first day of travel.
Ooh. Who wants to take watch? Should we all? Are we like doing
Rock,
2-3
paper,
hour
scissors.
watches? Yeah.
It depends on what you guys want to... Dog. What you guys want to set yourself as duties on ship. Like, what would you normally be taking watch, or would it just be one of the sailors, and Joel will roll for the sailors because it's Bal's ship? Or would one of you actually go up to the crow's nest and actually take a turn at watch?
I will take a turn at watch because I feel like Varen was just very unaffected by the potion, so she's feeling great. She's feeling great. She's having a good day.
Nat 20, your major effect was that you were immune to it.
Yeah.
For that particular one. Yeah.
So yeah, I will volunteer to take one watch.
All right, so yeah, you can roll watch for the period of travel. Go ahead and go up to the crow's nest and give me an observation roll.
That is a 9.
A 9. All right.
Oh,
It's hmm?
sorry. You technically get shit from me now that you've spent more than 24
Oh,
hours.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Varen's been with you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get if you are not trained in perception tasks, you roll as if you were.
Oh,
You also have a free ease every day, just for whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
cool.
So, because this is a perception-based task, observation tasks are perception-based. Then that would be eased by 1, which helps. What was your total again?
Oh, it was 9.
9. All right.
Yes.
So yeah, not bad. You can see the storm really definitely starting to roll in. It's starting to rain by the end of that day, and you know that it'll probably be another like evening and couple of hours of travel the next day before you get to Polyerna. So you are on the ship at night in a oncoming storm, and that is pretty much all that you get. With a 9, it looks like the ocean. You're not an experienced sailor, so it's hard to say if anything is normal or unusual about it. It looks like a lot of water. You can see the shoreline off in the distance to one side, to the left. But beyond that, it looks like water.
Nothing to report here. Everything looks good besides storm.
I love the look of concern on Maggie's face.
Are you?
I don't trust you even a little bit.
It's good.
I love
Varen, do
you
you have
guys
like
too.
a rain cloak or something?
Oh no, I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Varen comes down
Ball.
nearly soaked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I obviously didn't notice that there was a storm coming, so that was my bad.
Yeah. Ball, if there's like storm cloaks or anything for the sailors, Kale will climb up to the crow's nest with one for Varen if they're gonna do watch. And Kale is stripped down to just pants. They've got no shirt. You can see their top scars, and their spine, their scales that go down to their spine, but they don't seem bothered by the rain at all. In fact, it's like pebbling and running off their scales. You look cold. Are you all right?
It's pretty chilly up there. Yeah, I could probably I'm probably should go below deck and try to
I
warm
can
up
take
a
over
little.
if you wish.
Okay, that would be nice. Thank you.
So you're gonna take over for evening?
Yeah.
Okay. So Joel, for your sailors, keeping the heading true during bad weather and at night because you are too far out to be able to set anchor. Please go ahead and give me a sailing check as you are captain.
This is with my stats? Or...
Yeah, this is with your stats. I believe that you are trained.
I am. I will put 3 levels of effort into this.
Okay. So that's eased by 4.
So the first level of effort is 3, then the second and onwards is 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's minus 4. Okay. Well, I'm glad it did that because it rolled an 8.
An 8. Nevertheless, as a very experienced sailor and putting a lot of effort into it, putting a lot of your own energy into it, you do manage to keep things well maintained and your course heading true. Because again, you eased it by 4.
I think as
on
soon
the
as
difficulty.
yeah, I think as soon as Bal notices the storm, she takes the helm,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like on point, like in charge, like shouting orders, telling people what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Just a whole captain's
Yeah, and Corey
Uh,
is just kind of standing behind you, clueless.
Yeah. And Kale is not a sailor, but they can see in the dark, so they're up in the crow's nest,
Yep. Um,
helping you spot dangers.
yep. Because yeah, I had actually forgotten that Kale had dark sight. Um,
Yeah.
so for the evening, as you guys head into a fairly stormy night, it's not like seas are tossing. This is not like Gilligan's Island level of oh shit, you're gonna lose your boat. But it is
A storm.
a decent little storm.
Yeah.
Uh, go ahead and give me an observation roll. It is not hindered because you can see
All
in the
right.
dark.
Cool. That's good. I will put an effort on this.
Okay.
And I have
you are
the perception
already
bonus from Ball.
yeah, you are already trained because of Val.
Ooh, 18.
18. Very
Oof.
good.
Sharp dragon eyes.
You've been on the water a little bit longer than Varen has. Not with the extent that Bal has, but you've been out with Bal and Sybil on the boat since you guys left Icenbridge. And while a good half of that time has been up and down the river, a portion of it has been along the coast. So you've seen some open water. Even with the storm, because you rolled an 18, even with the storm, you can see something in the water that seems to be trailing you guys.
Oh. So up until this point, Kale has been having a grand old time up in the crow's nest. Like the ship is tossing and the winds are high.
Yeah, it's like a roller
They
coaster.
It's like a roller coaster. They don't get cold anymore, so they're they're steaming slightly, and every once in a while you'll hear them be like, "Woo!"
Yep.
They're having a wonderful time. The storm is great, and then all of a sudden they kind of stop, and they'll lean down over the crow's nest and look. Is it behind the ship or ahead?
A little behind and to the side.
All right. Captain, there's
I
something in the water.
And you're having to shout.
Yeah.
In fact, please give me a perception hearing check, Val.
perception hearing.
Yeah.
I'm not good at this.
Yeah, because storm at night, someone in the crow's nest down to the helmsman spot.
16.
16? Yeah. You can hear it.
Cool. Is it large? Is it?
It's this weird amorphous, I won't really call it a shadow in the water because it is nighttime in a storm, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You see
Even with
hints
dark
of you see hints of color.
underwater.
Yeah, you see
Oh,
hints
interesting.
of color. But it's hard to make out. It is fairly murky with the way that everything is right now. If it had been seen during the day, you might have had a little bit of an easier time, but the combination of the storm and the fact that it's night and it's underwater, it's fairly murky. You see hints of color bloom, but that's it.
Okay. Can I try to perceive this thing now that it's been brought to my attention?
You handing off the wheel to someone else?
Shoot.
You could
You could.
just for a minute.
You could, but
Just to-
you
just to glance
can't-
over.
Yeah, but you can't like look over the side of the ship
Yeah.
without someone taking over the wheel from you.
Sure. I'll hand it over to our helmsman
Okay.
just for a little bit, just so
Okay.
I can look over and see whatever the fuck this is.
All right. Please give me a observation check. This is sight based.
I'm gonna put 3 levels of feathers into this.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it can. I rolled an 8.
You rolled an 8.
Yeah.
Well, with 3 levels of effort, you can see some amorphous shape-ish, maybe, but you can't make out any detail, and it's hard to tell with the fact that you can't see it in the dark the way that Kale can, and it's storming, and it's night. You can't make any detail, you can't make any color, and it's 50-50 that it's just the way that what minor bits of light there are refracting through the water as it tosses and you guys move.
Oh man, one way to do
But there might be something there.
I'm gonna just grab some rope.
No.
I'm gonna tie the one end of it around my
No.
waist. I'm gonna give the other end to Corey.
Tie it to the mainmast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to.
All right.
Poor
So
Scar.
he looks at you very questioningly, and he looks like he really wants to argue.
Give me about 2 minutes, and then start pulling back. Thank you.
Okay. And he goes and starts tying it off, and barely gets it tied by the time you jump over. With
I also
your
want
little
to do my my action recover.
I think
action
I
recovery.
think
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Really
because
smart.
you're
I
spending
see
so
you-
much effort. Yeah.
tying yourself off, and I'll yell like, "Bob,
Yep.
what are you doing?"
Yep. Yep.
I'd like to imagine that Sybil hears yelling and just opens up the cabin door wrapped in a blanket. Is like, what the fuck? Like, it's like, what are you
right
guys?
in time to see Corey tying off a rope as Val jumps off.
Just like, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. So Val, with the rope tied around their waist, jumps into the water. I believe that Val is able to breathe underwater, so this shouldn't be an issue.
I am aquatic.
Yeah. So as you jump off of the side of the ship into the water during a storm at night, please give me a might check to, resist the fact that this is a moving ship in a current on the water and you are tied to it.
17.
Okay. So you are
I don't know if it helps, but I'm also trained in swimming.
Yeah, you like that helps. It was more the fact that you are tied to a moving ship, and so you are being dragged. You're keel hauling yourself through the water. So it was mostly to not take damage from getting ganked.
Right, that makes sense.
So as you do, you jump over it and you're just and you manage to steady your core enough to not bruise any kidneys.
Rip.
And so you're underwater. What are you trying to do?
I'm actually going to activate my my bell box.
Okay.
And attempt to just lift whatever the fuck is following us directly up into the sky, out of the water.
Oh, wow. Emmy's got a face. That was a choice.
That is certainly a choice. Have you reread the description of what that bell box does?
He directs gravity, doesn't it? Hold on. I have made a mistake of some sort. I have discovered.
How far away from you does it redirect gravity, honey?
Hold on.
Weirdly
hold
enough,
on.
this is
I
the
can't
same
find it.
conversation that we're having on the deck. Like, what is she doing down there?
What's she doing?
I can't find the item. Hold on.
It's in the artifact tracking.
Oh, right.
chat.
I forgot you made an entire new.
She made a whole channel.
Yeah, just so that you guys can
For some
keep track
reason.
of the artifacts that you have and exactly what they do.
Immediate range.
It is known as the gravity rattle.
Yeah.
For a duration of 5 minutes. it can lift everything. You direct the gravity of everything. You being the only person immune.
Yeah.
Within immediate range.
Well, but the ship is
So that
here.
whole
And I'm
ocean.
railing
What about
behind
the-
the
yeah,
ship,
the
so
water?
it's anything back here.
The
that I'm
water.
targeting.
So
You're lifting the
you are
sea.
going to hit the ship.
Well, no, the ship is in the opposite direction, I thought.
You're
'Cause
attached
it's like
to the
in front of
ship. You understand how physics work, where like you're attached to the rope,
Right.
so you're being trailed along the side of the ship.
The gravity belt, the way that it says is that it is a short distance across from me,
Yeah, so-
like away from me.
Yeah, so it affects 50 feet is what short distance is. So if you had extended range, it would affect 100 feet, but it affects 50 feet across, but within 10 anything
Circumference?
within 10 feet of you. Yeah, it's a
Don't
50-foot
yeet the ship.
circumference.
Oh, it's an AoE effect. I didn't know
Yes.
that. That's not how
Yes.
I've been using it at all this entire game.
Yeah, the last time you had managed to hit a bunch of enforcers with it because they were all around you. And you didn't hit the your party members because they were outside of that 10-foot distance from you.
That was not made clear to me. But okay, then I won't do that.
No.
Instead, I am going to just speak Sea Serpent in that general direction. At the
Okay.
top of my anger.
No, I think your plan was a good plan. I think you should lift the whole ocean and the boat.
If you want to lift a 50-foot orb of water along with the boat up into the air, you can.
Roll.
You will go with the boat because you're attached to it. But if you want
No.
to lift yourself out of the water, you can.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Um,
I thought it was I can direction it.
yeah, no,
In
like
front of me.
you determine the direction of gravity within that 50-foot orb.
Right. Well,
Got
then,
it.
no, I will just speak
Yeah.
Sea Serpent instead.
Yeah, the gravity rattle was meant as a tool to get enemies away from you and or help you walk on other surfaces.
Or like get on top of a cliff.
Yeah.
Useful.
Or lift a boat in the middle of a storm.
Yeah, which
Yes. And
would
then
be hilarious.
fly for a bit
yeah,
and then crash.
yeah.
No, I don't want
Because
to.
You
Come
don't
to
want
the-
you don't want to
people
Peter
all
Pan your
die.
ship. Yeah, you don't want to Peter Pan your ship. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so
Fine,
whatever. There's an option.
so you're shouting in Sea Serpent in that approximate direction. What are you saying?
Yes. Hello. Is there a particular reason why you're following us?
Observation roll.
Natural one.
Natural.
Oh
one.
no!
Oh, I reroll. I have a Cypher.
Reroll. Nat 20.
Okay.
12. What's that? 12.
12? I thought you said well. That's it.
No, sorry. 12.
Okay. So 12. With that, you don't hear a response really. There's the slight increase in that melody of water and change that you hear from your deity, like something is happening, and then you see this array bloom of colors, and then you are slowly hauled out of the water and lose sight of it because you told Corey to only give you 2 minutes.
Do I see anything?
Nothing changed.
Deep. Yeah. All right.
And
Is
you're being
anybody gonna-
slowly hauled ass first up onto the ship.
Oh man, I am gonna be stupid.
Of course you are. I know what you're doing.
Are you
What are you-
untying yourself?
I am on.
Don't do that. Don't do
Just
that.
to
You can
throw-
wait 2 more minutes and just tell us to throw you back.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna untie
We're just gonna
myself.
lose the captain.
Okay,
That's great. That's
fine,
cool.
bye.
I love that.
All right, give me a speed
And
check.
then Ball fucking dies.
I'm gonna put 2 levels of effort into this.
Okay,
Into
into
untying.
speed. Okay.
The sea is Ball's thing, so maybe this will go well.
Are we watching
Uh,
this?
11.
11.
11.
What is she doing?
Okay, with 2 levels of effort. Yeah, like you see Corey and like 2 other crew members hauling on the rope that Belle had jumped off with, and you didn't quite hear the "give me 2 minutes," so it's who knows why it was even allowed in the first place. But you see the hint of like Belle being starting to like come up and is not assisting them by trying to climb back up, and is just kind of hanging there with it wrapped around her waist, so it really was ass first. And Sybil, you would be close enough to see that Belle is doing something with the rope or to the rope and then suddenly drop because the rope has come undone.
Hey, Kale.
Kale,
Hey, Kale.
up in the crow's
Kale.
nest, you would see that Sybil, or not Sybil, that Belle is being hauled back up
Kale.
and is like just bent over
Baron.
with the rope. You don't know if she's unconscious or anything because of how far away it is. And then the rope comes undone and she dives back into the water.
Right, and like, oh no, and like lean over the crow's nest. Like claws
Sybil,
splinting
you
into the
don't
wood.
know where Kale is because Kale is up in the crow's nest, which is not in immediate view.
It's dark.
I feel like I hear my name being called, and I'm just like run up, but I have like a ton of like cloaks on, being like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, so you
Does
show
someone
up.
call my
Yeah,
name?
like you show up at the cabin door where Sybil is, also hovering there with a blanket. Like, what the fuck is going on? And Sybil is just standing there going, "Kale, Kale."
Ball jumped in the water. Ball jumped in the water and then untied herself, and Sybil's gonna rush over to the like edge of the boat and see if we can see anything.
Observation roll, perception. Perception. Give me a perception.
Guys. 13. What do I have anything that makes
see-
this better? No.
You see dark water that has like the spray of it being a storm. You are getting gradually soaked because you are out in the storm on deck now. You see the kind of dark shadowy shape that is probably Ball swimming downward and then very fast gone because you guys are on a boat. You also hear behind you Corey immediately start panicking and telling people to like halt the boat, bring it back, stop the boat, stop the boat. He doesn't know how to tell them to stop the boat or how to stop the boat, but he's yelling at people to stop the boat.
There's no stopping a boat, but you can kind of circle around.
Yeah.
That's probably what they're gonna have to do.
Corey, what is happening? Corey!
I don't know. She says she was gonna be right back to bring her back in 2 minutes.
She untied herself. Where is Kale? What is happening?
Kale, are you coming down?
How dumb does Kale want to be today? If I jumped from the crow's nest, can I clear the ship?
Why are you jumping?
With a decent might roll? Yeah.
All right.
Without a decent might roll? No.
Yeah.
I like
Well-
the imagery of the person with water powers who clearly can transform into ocean creatures, making a crew panic because they did the one thing that they
The thing that she's best at.
yeah
At night in the middle of a storm and you didn't tell anybody.
And it
I
takes
did.
you an hour to transform portions of your body.
you don't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, a tentacle is fun.
Okay.
Well, hang on. I'm gonna.
Are you gonna try
randomize
and
this.
jump? Are you gonna try and jump? That is what I want to know.
Hey, good.
Also, is there a rope that I could swing with?
From the crow's nest, no. You would have to
Yeah.
first do a balance type check to get out along the I don't know what it's called, the beam or whatever that
Yeah.
the sail is attached to, which is where rigging would be attached to, because they don't necessarily have rigging attached to the crow's nest.
I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to do that because I'm trained in climbing and swimming. So
Okay, so you're going to climb
I will
out
climb
onto
Yeah.
the beam to get to some of the rigging.
Yeah.
Okay. So give me a climb check, which would normally be it's hindered by the fact that it is a storm, but it is now eased by the fact that you are trained, or are you specialized?
I am just trained.
Okay, so it would
So 13.
Yeah, so it would normally be a 5, hindered to a 6, eased back down to a 5. So as you are climbing out, because that is still a 15 and you rolled a 13, you start to slip and you start to fall because it is slick. Are you going to attempt to catch yourself?
Yes.
And how? Because that will determine if you are reaching out to the sail or to the rigging.
I'm going to try to grab some. I'm a climber, so I think Kale has fallen off of cliffs before and is going to just instinctively reach for the ropes.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my climbing.
Roll a speed reflex.
Oh, 17.
17. Very good. You do not shred the sails with your claws.
No, that's good.
And manage to nearly wrench your shoulder out of its socket, catching yourself on some rigging. So what everybody else sees, as Sybil is just like, where is Kale? What is going on? And Corey is panicking, going, stop the ship! We've got to go back! We're gonna leave her behind! Stop the ship! And Corey is panicking, and then Varen, I'm assuming, is still at the cabin door going, what the fuck is going on? Varen, from, like, the perfect vantage point, you see, like, movement up high, and then at the crow's nest where you had left Kale, you see Kale climb out from the crow's nest, and instead of coming down the ladder along the mast, they try to balance/climb across the beam that the sail is attached to, slip, fall halfway, and catch themselves on some of the ropes. These are not loose ropes, so you cannot swing on them.
Yeah.
But you do manage to catch yourself, and
clinging
like it's
to
just
one.
hanging there from some of the ropes, and with that catch you would be able to climb down if you want to.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like Varen has no other choice but just to also start screaming and just going, "What's going on?"
I don't know.
Solid choices all around.
So please give me an observation roll, Varen.
Oh boy, I'm so good at those. That was a 2.
That was a 2. Okay, good to know.
We're doing great.
So, Sybil, you probably heard a loud yelp as Kale began to fall, and then looking up, you see Kale now hanging from some of the rigging above you from the sail.
What the fuck is happening? Hale, what are you doing?
In the meantime, Bal, you have jumped into the water,
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
and you're swimming in the direction of the weird, shadowy thing,
In whatever
the
direction.
weird amorphous thing.
Yeah, in whatever direction the music sounds louder.
What a cool
In the direction
normal
of the
choice.
music instead of the thing.
I thought it was the same direction, but yeah, no, the music.
The music.
I think it's the priority in Val's mind. It was gonna be towards the thing, and then it was like, oh, music, hold on, and then it just deviates.
Okay, so as you start to turn oddly away from the boat and away from this weird shape in the water that had been following you guys,
Right.
you hear the, like, urgency of the music start to pick up, and then the shape catches up with you because it had been keeping pace with the ship. And you are immediately distracted from the fact that you were following the music by the fact that you are now surrounded by about 50 or 60 giant jellyfish.
Oh.
Okay, not what I expected.
Yeah.
Not
You
a sea serpent.
yeah, you had caught the attention of a very, very strange jellyfish bloom that has been following after you guys. You do not know why, which is why you were seeing hints of colors popping, because they all change shape and color among a bloom, if you've ever seen or heard about jellyfish blooms. And they are now just kind of bobbing around you in the water, and like a couple of them bump you with the smooth dome at the top as if investigating you.
Oh, hello. I'm still speaking sea serpent because this is my only language. That is of the ocean. Um, Hi. I'm gonna put just my tentacle on the little dome that's poking at me.
Yeah. The dome is probably about 13 feet across.
Big,
Yeah, there's a lot of them. They're
big dome.
giant jellyfish, and there are a lot of them, so they're all just kind of surrounding you, because it was a full bloom of them.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't seem to be a reaction or response beyond some of them crowding a little bit closer.
Okay. Um, just for my sake, I'm going to activate my water shield, which doesn't really. I'm already surrounded by water.
Yeah, so you move the
But,
water around you.
yeah, just keeping it flowing around me just to kind of protect me a little bit more, and then I'm going to attempt to continue following the music.
Okay. Please give me a swim check to not only go in the direction that you want to in the sea in a storm, but also avoid the jellyfish below said squishy jellyfish
Right.
dome. You want to avoid all those jellyfish stingers.
Right. So I'm trained in swimming,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to add 2 levels of effort onto
Mm-hmm.
this again.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Good, because avoiding all of them
Yeah.
adds a hindrance, as
Yeah.
does
Don't
the
get stung.
storm. So you were looking at a difficulty 7. The 2 levels of effort brings it down to a difficulty 5. The trained in swimming brings it down to a difficulty 4.
Cool.
Jellyfish are fucked up, you guys.
What?
I'm just looking at pictures of them. They
Yeah.
get so big.
They do. They get huge.
Moon jellies are cute, though. I've swam with those. They're nice.
Yeah, so I roll a 6.
6 is not a 12.
Right. I thought so, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh boy.
as you start trying to swim, you bump into one jellyfish top and then another, and you are very well aware of how dangerous the stingers can be. So you are concentrating on keeping yourself high enough to where you're not going to go down among all of those.
Yeah.
And then you bump into another, and then another, and then another, and you're starting to lose direction of where the ship was, but you can hear the sound. And then please make a speed defense or a defense task of some kind.
Oh, that's an 18.
18.
Ooh.
So you nimbly dodge out of the way of some of the jellyfish tendrils that you have found yourself among, but you are now almost in a forest of them as you got bumped down below the dome tops. Are you still attempting to continue? Are you staying in place? What's the plan?
Yeah, what's the plan?
Am I at least making progress towards, like, does it feel like I'm getting closer to the song?
You got probably a good 15 feet in that direction before you got bumped below the domes. You don't know how far away it was, even, because it was just like the song was very mild at the back of your head, the way that it always is, and then you jumped down into the water, and that's when it started to increase, and then it started increasing even more, which created this whole scenario for you.
Right. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Okay. Cool. Uh,
Go
I
on.
am
Expand
going
upon that.
to attempt to use my demeanor of command to attempt to will the jellyfish to get out of my way.
Okay. So, you attempt to
Perfect.
use your demeanor of command.
Yep.
You activate it, and it seems to make the spiral of water shield that's just circling around your body in an orbit almost like increase in size and glow slightly because of where this demeanor of command comes from. Demeanor of command gives you an asset to influencing them. It does not automatically make them go away.
This is
So,
true.
how are you attempting to convince them to move, or scare them, or intimidate them?
I think I'm going to just to put it in a way that is easy to understand. I'm just going to sea serpent roar at them
Okay.
and try to intimidate them, thinking that a predator is around.
Okay, so you're just trying to basically impose upon them the go the fuck away using Sea Serpent Roar.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
roll me an intellect-based intimidate to roar. Roll for roar.
So I don't know if this helps, but I have trained in deception.
Okay,
I will also put 3 levels of effort into this,
okay.
which is not bad.
Side question, have you practiced roaring with Kale?
No, I
Okay.
don't think so.
Just for the hilarity of it, I wanted to ask.
Yeah, fair.
We're just yelling off the back of the ship.
I rolled a 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you have an asset, you've got a bunch of levels of effort. The jellyfish that had been attracted to you do seem to, like, kind of do that weird away from you a little bit, almost as if in response. Jellyfish don't necessarily have ears to hear, but you are still imposing your demeanor in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, they do. You do need to make one more defense task as they attempt to like swim away from you / balloon boom 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 away from you. 8, but which you are hit, but they are moving away from you in response to that, and just kind of swimming into a different amorphous movement a little further away, as if to leave you alone. So as one of the stingers just kind of whips around you while they move, you unfortunately are not able to dodge it with that 8, bringing you a 7 points of damage, but you do have your shield up,
Ooh.
which gives you 2 points of armor, so you take 5 points of damage as the sting just wraps around the majority of your body because of how big these things are. Just stinging you with some nasty jellyfish venom. In the meantime, on the boat, we have Kale climbing down. Sybil going, "What the fuck?" And Varen standing in the cabin doorway also screaming, "What's going on?" Because Varen wanted to join the screaming. The helmsman and everyone are working to try and get the boat to turn around, which is fairly difficult at the moment. Roll for your crew. They do not have the asset of your training at the moment.
A 2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, bud.
Everybody's panicking. We're panicking.
So, like, in in the process of trying to get it turned around and stopped, Corey, while panicking, runs over and drops the sails. Like, releases the rigging that drops the sails, which drops Kale a good 10 feet to the deck.
Good.
Because you have to let go as it whips up, because that's what you have been climbing down. And that stops the forward momentum, but it also stops the ability to turn easily, because you're not able to catch the wind to be able to turn around. So now the boat is just kind of loosely being tossed among the waves.
That's not what you want during a storm.
No. Getting that sail back up is going to be fairly difficult. It was...
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
What was the plan?
You're on the deck. Sybil, you are still standing there going, "What is going on? What was the plan?" What are you guys doing?
I read books. I literally have nothing that will help this situation.
How far away is all of this with Ball happening?
You don't know. You cannot see where Ball is or where Ball went, because all you saw was Ball drop into the water.
I'm gonna just do a little might and see if I get the wind knocked out of me.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Yeah, so you land on your back, and it's just like...
I'm gonna need a minute. Kale's just like coughing, trying to get to their knees.
Are you okay? Okay. Does anyone know what is happening or why Ball just killed herself? She jumped off the boat?
Kale's still struggling to get in a breath, and they're like
Corey
pointing
is like...
off the back of the ship, and then pointing at rope, and then pointing off the back of the ship again.
And Corey is like aggressively pointing at Kale in blame while trying to like tug at a variety of ropes to try and get the ship to turn around.
So that's a no, then. Nobody knows why this is happening?
There's a creature following us.
So she jumped off the boat?
Yes, I don't know why, but I don't know how big it is or how dangerous it is, or if she's okay.
Can you go get her?
I was going to. Here's the plan. Okay, Varen, get a big length of rope. Sybil, you'll ride on my back because you can go under the waves and not have to breathe, and we're gonna go look for her. But Varen, I need you here to pull us back and make sure that we don't get trapped in the sea. I can't breathe underwater, no matter what shape I'm in.
Okay.
All right.
Russell,
Sybil, tie me up. Varen, just a moment, and I'm going to change into my small dragon form.
Okay.
So as this is all happening, Bal, you have been thoroughly stung by a giant fucking jellyfish.
Yeah.
These are like 2 or 3 times larger than you have ever seen even the largest one before.
Yep.
The song is still there in your head, like a summoning bell. It's a little further out to sea and downward.
Well, obviously, my crew and friends trust that I would not do something reckless I would continue
No,
with
the
the plan
opposite of
as
that.
established. So I know that the ship has continued on its course, and I can catch up to it later with ease once we meet up at our destination. So I will continue
That would be the smart thing to do, but you know.
following this sound forward and deeper into the.
Okay. So as you swim further and further, like away from the surface, it gets darker and
Question:
darker.
Can I
I
do
also
my
have questions.
can I do my body change thing? Is that like I have to like meditate, or can I just have it happening in the back of my mind for a bit?
You would not have to roll if you were meditating for it. You
Okay.
would have to roll intellect on occasion to maintain like focus on it as you are
Cool.
doing other things. If you are doing other things.
Then can I have done that from the moment I jumped off the ship?
Yes, please roll me 2 like passive intellects for
Yeah.
everything that
Are
has
you trying to
happened to
mermaid
not
this
lose
shit?
it.
Yes, I will put
Awesome.
a level of effort into this.
Okay.
That is a 4.
Okay. So like you that initial like drop into the water was enough of a shock to where you're just like, I'm gonna do this. Jellyfish, fully distracted.
Right.
Roll again for the sting.
Restart.
Yeah, roll again for the sting to restart.
Natural 1. I feel like this is not happening, so I'm not gonna bother trying anymore.
Okay. So yeah,
Cool,
you're
cool,
just
cool, cool.
swimming in your bipedal humanoid foot and octopus armed form.
Yep.
All right. So you are swimming down and away, and it gets darker and colder, and you can no longer see. You're just following the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, we have Kale transforming into their minor dragon form, Sybil having a full mental crisis, and Varen, you've been directed to help with the rope. Are you going to? How strong are you even?
I don't know if I'm that strong. So I feel like I'm gonna have to call over some people to help because I don't know what
no.
to do.
Kale will be like, no. Kale will help. You tie them up. But what? They're like, no, don't distract the sailors. They've got a lot going on right now.
Well, I have a lot going on right now too. Why am I being yelled at?
We'll stay calm and we'll get through this. Ball is fine. Probably she can breathe water. I don't know what was out there.
I would also like to point out to the party members that are still on the ship,
It's getting very far now.
you are very far away.
Yeah.
The rope is maybe 100 feet.
Yeah.
Minus
This is probably not going to be long
yeah,
enough.
minus the maybe 5 feet wrapped around the mast, or not, probably not 5 feet, like the 4 feet that are wrapped around the mast to maintain that grip, minus the maybe 15 feet of going
There's got to be
across.
more than one ropes, though. Can we splice some ropes together?
Do you
It'll take
know
more
how?
time.
It will take significantly more
I'm
time.
a climber.
You can tie them together.
I'm
Okay.
a climber. I used to climb.
Okay,
Mountains.
so prior to changing, you are going to get some spare rope to try and tie to the current rope that had been used to tether Ball. Okay.
We're wasting time at this point. It's great.
Roll for Shibari. It is a speed
letting
task,
Ball
but you
do her
do
thing.
have an asset from your climbing experience.
Cool. I have rolled a 7, so it's not going great.
The rope is much bigger, much thicker than you are used to dealing with.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's tied. I don't think it'll hold.
Yeah. All right. Sybil, if we jump in, I don't know that we'll have a rope. Are you okay going down to see where she is?
No. No, this is a terrible idea. Every part of
but-
this is a bad idea.
But you can go through the water and it won't affect you. And if there's a monster down there, it won't eat you.
That's not facts. We don't know that. We don't know that at all.
I love that. That's not factual. Can I also get another sailing roll from your crew?
Is Ball fucking dead? Like, Sybil's having a mental breakdown.
We're doing so good.
15. Okay. They're starting to get the ship a little bit more under control. They haven't gotten the sails back up.
Lifeboats, are there... Bal said something about lifeboats. Is there...
Do you see
is
this
there a lifeboat?
weather? Do you know how to row a boat in a storm like this?
I could definitely try.
There is, because it's just a small schooner, which normally doesn't have room for boats, but because of Belle's history, I will say that, like, strapped to the deck rather than on the side currently, there is probably one very small rowboat that is meant for when you guys need to get supplies and aren't near a dock. Yeah.
Cool. All right, Sybil Varen in the boat. I will push it.
I don't want to get in the boat.
Sybil. Bal needs us.
I don't know that that's true. Bal is capable of breathing underwater, and if she hasn't been eaten by whatever is following us, she'll be fine if we stay here. Unlike us, if we go... This is all very bad.
You could check. And I know the ocean is a very scary place, but it can't harm you.
That's not... I just don't need to breathe as much. I still need to breathe.
Oh, right. Sorry. It's the food thing. I can't... She's got to be really far down now. I can't go down that far. Varen, is there anything you can do?
Out of character, the only thing I could do is scan the area, but only if it's within short range. But in character, no, I don't know what to do. Our captain just bailed on us. I don't know if that's normal. Don't think it is. Like there's not really much I can do, but just and she just kind of she stutters and just is immediately just like I'm just gonna go like sit down and freak out about this.
Real, honestly.
Kale's just looking between Sybil and Varen and is trying to figure out what they're going to do on their own to go after Paul.
We're so far away from her.
Mm-hmm.
We're so far away from her, and we're not equipped for this.
You are at least a very long distance, if not longer.
All right. Then let's help the sailors. Maybe we can turn around and go back to her faster.
I actually can't help with that, but I feel like that's a better idea than us drowning. I do not have a single thing that can make this better. Even like seeing through matter, it is in 6-inch increments. So like you are much farther than 6 inches below the water. I would not see you.
Are you sure about that?
No, but I feel semi-confident that you are farther than 6 inches below the water.
Yeah, if only Varen had been on deck when you guys were trying to figure out what was in the water. Scan would have been really useful back then.
It would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Varen was already below decks, ready to sleep because she took a good portion of the day being lookout up in the crow's nest. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just didn't see anything that required me to use that ability.
Exactly.
Well, and you might not have been able to see it in the dark, so.
True. Yep.
Well, during the day, it was actually still following you guys. Varen just didn't roll high enough for that, and Varen would have then had to come down to deck to be able to be in range for scan.
Scan it. We're doing great. We're having a great time.
Fantastic. I I feel
I
like at
follow
this
my
point,
destiny.
at this point, I feel like where's Corey right now?
Corey is freaking the fuck out, getting the crew to try and turn the boat around.
I feel like I have to like seek him out and be like, Corey, what do we do? Because I assume that Corey's like second in command at this point.
Corey is not. um, but so Joel, would you say that the helmsman is basically your second in command for when you're not on the ship, essentially? Because when you
Yeah.
leave the ship, Corey leaves the ship. Therefore, Corey can't be your second in command.
Yeah, I think I would have. I think the helmsman would be my co-captain.
Okay.
Second.
So from that, like, Corey's just like, I don't know. I don't know. She jumped. She jumped. She jumped.
I take it she doesn't normally do things like this. Like I thought Ball was, like normal.
And you guys have never seen Corey panic before. Because even during this whole scenario back in the first campaign in Ice and Bridge, of the two of them, Ben was the one that panicked, and Corey just kind of remained chill.
No, Corey's been really stoic.
Yeah, so
the fact that he's freaking out
that
is...
he's like legitimately freaked out.
He's freaking out. Kale's freaking out. These people generally have level heads.
Yeah. However, this is also the first time that Bal has jumped into the water at night during a storm while you guys were sailing. Yes, you might have jumped into the water before, but not during this particularly dangerous scenario when there's some sort of unknown creature down there with you. And Corey can kind of swim. Can kind of swim. He is not trained in it. So it's not like he could easily go down to assist you at this point. So now it's my savior has jumped into the water and might be dead. Level of panic.
Do we just wait? Like she has to like drift up at some point, right?
Hang on. Kale has maybe watched the boat happening and is going to try and direct our idiots to help the crew.
Yeah. Corey is going to like begrudgingly also help to try and get the sail back up to basically redirect you guys, and is trying to follow the directions that he is given, working as a member of the crew. All of you are assisting the crew, or are you going to make the attempt with the small boat, the small rowboat?
I'm going to assist the crew. I think that's the better plan at this point.
Yes,
and I will
I
lend
do
my strength to hauling on that rope and getting the sail up faster.
Okay. Sybil, are you assisting, or are you just kind of also in the what the fuck mode?
I don't know how helpful Sybil would actually be at
Which is why it's a question.
I think she's trying to just scan the water.
Okay.
And just is looking for either the creature or the captain.
Okay, give me an observation roll, perception based.
A thing I'm really good at. 14.
14. And Bal, does your training and perception thing disappear when you're not in a certain range of them? So no longer considered trained?
If they are with me, it's permanent. But then as if I leave, oh no, sorry. Yeah, I must remain in their company.
Okay.
It ends if I leave. If I leave for longer than 24 hours, then they have to spend an additional 24.
Okay, so it hasn't been 24 hours, so it would still remain in effect, essentially.
No, because I'm not there to be inspired.
Okay. So, not considered trained. Okay. Yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out. With 14, the water is dark. You don't see any weird amorphous shape or monster or creature or whatever it was that they were describing. It's just water and waves and getting pelted by rain.
Sure. Excellent. That's
Sorry,
literally
my heater has stopped
just
working,
mad.
and it's so cold in here.
Poor Alina.
I'm in the very far north, and it's very cold.
Oh no.
Mm.
All right. Well, Val, you continue swimming into the dark, following the sound. All right. So you swim.
Yep.
And you swim. And that's where we take a break.
When you get
Oh my
back on this
goodness.
boat, we're gonna have a chat about communication styles, okay? Like,
Yep.
That's ironic coming from Sybil.
yeah,
It is. It really
Yeah.
is.
You
Oh
went
my
to the one
God.
place that we can't follow.
we can follow for a little bit.
So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Everybody get up, stretch your legs, get some
I'm gonna
water.
Fix my heater.
Yeah, Alina will hopefully be able to fix
God.
their heater. What the fuck? But we'll be back in about like 5 or 10 minutes. See you then. Bye. And we are back. Welcome back. Alina is also now no longer freezing, which is wonderful.
I'm so glad.
Yes.
Incredible.
Real
So,
cool.
where we left off, Bal was swimming into the darkness, into the cold of the deep sea, unable to see around her, following the mental sound of the calling, anxious melody that she has heard for many years, but has learned is in some way associated with Perdoha. On the ship, you guys do eventually get it kind of fighting against the current, turned around with much effort, and are kind of, I wouldn't say accurately over / next to where Ball was, because even with a navigator at night in a storm, it is very difficult to place the ship. But it's probably been about 45 minutes at this point, and you have not
There
seen any sign of Bal.
Ongoing low-level panic from Kale. They're desperately trying to stay calm, but like they're clearly not.
Yeah.
I don't know that Sybil is like saying anything for once. Like Sybil is just being quiet.
Okay. And
Which
you guys
is
are all remaining out
more
in the
stressful.
rain on the deck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Varen?
I am following everyone else's lead on this, so
Okay.
I'm just kind of hanging out on the deck and just kind of not sure what to do or what I can do that will help, but I'm here for emotional support, I guess.
So Corey is probably just pacing back and forth on occasion, and then sitting down, then looking over, and then sitting down again, and like occasionally takes out his sword, sharpens it a little bit. It doesn't work very well in the rain, cleans it off, puts it away. Still no sign of Bal. Make an observation roll, in fact, since all of you are watching to see if there's any clue of if you're even in the right spot / where she might be.
I've got a natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
I got a
helps.
14.
I only got an 8.
Okay. The natural 20 helps since you can't see in the dark, and it is nighttime, and it is very
True.
dark outside. You can see a little further away the strange amorphous blobs in the water that had started all of this that you hadn't been previously aware of, that occasionally light up with color, and you can only vaguely make out, probably due to a lightning flash from the storm. Are those jellyfish? You've only ever even really heard them described. You haven't seen one in person before. No sign of Bal.
I think that is Sybil's cue to like walk over by Kale and doesn't say anything, but just kind of points.
You can't make it out in the storm with that 8.
What
No.
what did you see? What did Ball see?
I saw some dark shapes below the water, clearly following the ship, active, alive, not driftwood floating.
Kind of like a whole bunch of shapes all together.
Maybe? It was unclear. It was one large mass.
That's kind of what it looks like.
But maybe.
And it's just kind of hovering under the surface of the water in a particular spot.
How far under the surface of the water would you say? Perhaps 6 inches?
No, more like 10 feet ish,
Okay,
maybe.
well,
like you're
fuck me.
like you can tell that they are not surfacing, but they are fairly close to the surface of the water. Them being
Are we
large aquatic creatures,
close
they
enough
are
for
not
Vera?
like at there. You would have to get them to direct the ship closer.
Because we don't know Varen can do that, but Varen knows.
Mm-hmm.
Varen,
It
come
has
over
to be
here.
within short range. So yes, I'll follow Sybil. It's like
Hey, Do you see that thing out there?
With Sybil pointing it out, the two of you can roll again. Note that it is at a higher DC because it is a reattempt.
I did roll a
Do I
14.
still get advantage for the dark vision?
You do get an asset from that, yes.
So I'm at even.
Yeah. So you are at
What is
what
it?
the difficulty was before, which was a 6.
No, I rolled a 3. Kale is panicking too much.
Yeah. So it is currently at a 7. Though you are, I think actually you were all trained because of, no, Belle's not around. So you do not have the training and perception right now.
You know what? I will cash in one of those nat 20s.
Okay.
Ooh.
So with Sybil pointing it out, you do see like strange shapes, and you wait for another distant lightning flash to light it up enough to be like that kind of does look like weird floaty maybe jellyfish blobs that have strange colors to them.
Is it like the floating blob of things? Is it following us, or are they staying in roughly the same spot?
They are staying in roughly the same spot. They were not following the ship, they were following Bal.
Great.
Interesting.
Sybil,
Ocean themed, chosen of a
Yeah.
deity.
Yeah, seems like.
Like Joel's
So
looking
you're
at me
gonna
like,
roll
wait,
Sybil
why?
through a whole bunch of jellyfish. Love
Yeah.
that for you.
Mhm.
Hey Corey, do you see that like patch of weird stuff back there?
Go ahead and roll. He is not trained in it.
Sybil's pointing it out.
12.
He does not.
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's fair.
Is it? Do you think it's her?
I don't know what it is, but it's something, and that's better
Well,
than
He
Thinking,
just
Sybil.
turns and grabs the helmsman, points the helmsman in that direction, and it's just like, bring us over there.
I mean, if we get closer, we can figure it out in general. You said that something was following us, but they're not following us.
They were. It appeared like they were following the ship before.
Okay, so if they're not following the ship, then what are they following?
I don't know.
It's a lead? It's better than nothing? Alternatively, we all go to bed right now and wait until morning and see if we can find her corpse. So
No.
Mm-mm.
it's an option. I'm just saying.
That is amazing.
I'm
Corpse.
just saying.
I love you guys. You guys are the best
I mean,
players.
is out there why Ball jumped in or fell off?
Maybe.
I don't know.
To be so honest, why Ball does anything that she does is anybody's guess. So
Valid.
this is a thing.
I look at the blob and I look back at Sybil and I just so are you telling me that Ball can toss herself off a ship, but she doesn't want to fake her own death to get a reward?
That's actually so fair. She has done this, but she hasn't done like this before, but she's jumped off of things before, but I just generally
Sort
it's
of
in the
all have.
daytime.
It was a time.
It was in the daytime, and like we could all, and not in this fucking weather where, oh my god.
Wait. Maybe we can find out where Ball is. It's going to take some time though, and I can't wake Pico, but I'm going to go make some tea.
Okay.
I'll just stride off to the cabins.
Okay.
You know what?
Any other context. In any other context.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Tea does sound kind of good.
It does.
We could go do that instead.
So it does take the ship a little bit of time to struggle in that direction. The crew has to like fight with the sails to keep them in the correct orientation, and the helmsman more than once needs assistance to keep the rudder and the wheel moving correctly. But over the course of the next hour, you guys are able to prepare the tea and also get the ship kind of lingering close-ish to where the jellyfish are. You would
Feels in
probably
full
pass
witchy
over
mode
it at
too?
least once, but maintaining a single spot on the ocean in these conditions is legitimately impossible. There is no role that will be able to
Just
achieve it.
circling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kale's in full witchy mode. They are using Pico, but Pico's asleep.
Yeah.
I think he was pretty exhausted, but they are like filling him with storm water and a few drops of ocean water, and they're muttering to themselves as they throw different herbs and stuff in it.
Okay.
They'll grab some seaweed if there's any on board,
Okay.
and it's going to be a weird oceany tea.
Okay.
But once the hour is up, they're going to quite aggressively grab Sybil and Varen and shove teacups filled with water into both their hands.
Okay.
And be like, right,
Before
hold
this
hands,
happens,
concentrate, ask where Ball is.
Yeah. Before this happens, Varen, are you going to attempt a scan during that
I
time
will
that you guys
attempt-
passed over?
A scan. It takes an
Thank you.
action.
Okay, that's easy enough. That's only a couple of seconds.
Mhm.
So go ahead and tell the audience what scan gets you.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Scan an area equal in size to a 10-foot or 3-meter cube, including all objects or creatures within the area must be within short range. Scanning a creature or object always reveals its level. You also learn whatever facts the GM feels are pertinent about the matter and
Ooh.
energy in that area. And then it gives a few examples.
That's a very good power.
Yeah. But and it does say scans like looks can be deceiving. Many materials and energy fields prevent or resist scanning.
Yes.
So I can detect things, but it might not always be the most accurate that I'm detecting.
That's fine.
So as you scan into the water and you're just kind of reading the motion and the shadows and the glow of the, and like right over them, you can see more accurately that they do seem to glow and reflect the small bits of light that there is in a like full-on aurora of color beneath you. If the sky was not stormy, it would be a gorgeous sight. But there are dozens of massive fucking jellyfish, like feet across jellyfish, that do seem vaguely magical, probably affected by the magic of the world to have grown this large, that are all hovering, intent on something. Beyond that, no idea.
But no sign of, hey, that's Ball, or there's a corpse.
Nope.
That's good.
That's
I can
good.
tell
Yeah.
there. Well, whatever it is, and there's multiple they out there. It seems like they're like not necessarily after us, but they're detecting, like they're like focused on something.
But they were focused on us earlier.
But it doesn't seem like they are now.
And the only thing that changed is that Ball left.
Maybe they're watching after Ball.
Or they're eating her.
I don't know necessarily about that. I don't think these creatures can do that.
Do you know that for a fact, though, or are you
don't.
just being positive?
I'm being positive, but also like I'm literally detecting just like it literally just looks like a blob. There's like not even like a mouth or anything.
There's a lot of things that can eat you in weird ways, so I wouldn't.
It's like if a mushroom like didn't have bones in it, you know, that's kind of what it looks like.
That's very useful power, Varen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also,
You're
and I
welcome.
like shove teacups into both of your hands. Drink.
Okay.
So you
Keep
perform your tea
meditating
ceremony.
on where is Ball.
Are we
Where
on the deck?
is Ball?
On the deck,
Yeah.
in the rain,
In the
Corey
storm.
is just kind of like watching you guys and then looking over the side of the deck and just kind of folds his arms and waits.
This tea is really gross. I'm so sorry, Kale.
It probably does taste very
Like the sea,
interesting.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's kind of fishy and
please describe to
herby.
our audience how the tea ceremony works.
All right. Well,
Because this is the first time you've used it this
to-
campaign.
It is. So Kale has been running around getting little bits of things from here and there. Like I said, they filled the little copper tea kettle that is Pico with a mix of, like, they held it up to the storm and filled with some storm water. They scooped a little seawater into it. They've run off and they've gotten from their trunk in their room some of the fanciest tea that they brought with them. But then they've also like peeled bits of dried kelp off the side of the ship.
Ew.
Taken, yeah, like just they seem to almost be in a trance and they're finding what they think will help with this ritual and they're muttering to themselves as they do it. And then in the middle of the storm, before Sybil, when they've done this, it's been very calm. They got us all to sit cross-legged on the grass and close our eyes and deep breathe. And now there's like a frantic intensity that seems to echo both their own panic and the storm lashing around us. So there's no meditation. There's no calm, deep breathing. They're just shoving this murky seawater tea into both of your hands, telling you to drink and telling you to hold hands and concentrate on the question, where is Ball? Where is Ball? And they will close their eyes. And I imagine the wind has their hair blowing back wildly like seaweed in the air. There's lightning flickers overhead.
Okay, and you are using Read the Leaves.
I am.
All right, so you read the tea leaves, blah, blah, blah. No answer is clear, straightforward. The wise know that even the best prophecy often doesn't come to pass, but a clever tea reader can often find useful clues or warnings in the leaves.
Yes.
So as you focus on Bal, and you direct Sybil and Varen to focus on Bal, you slowly... It's like the wind picks up even more. And you hear what almost sounds like chimes. And then it's that very familiar... yes, I saw the chat, nat 20 to Joel.
Ooh.
It's that very familiar melody that you guys had only heard in the dreams when connecting with Bal. And that one moment when you had passed through the little natural aquifer and at the end of the last campaign. It is not discordant the way that you had heard before, but it is intense. And it's focused downward and downward. And there's something important. And you feel almost like there's water around you, like you're hovering in the water. And then it's gone.
Just before it goes, Kale it's still with her eyes closed, still concentrating on the question, but will out loud say, Paradoha, my apologies, I didn't mean to intrude. And then the connection's gone.
Yeah. So you know that Bal is somewhere beneath you, as far as you
Yep.
can tell, still alive. Something important is happening. You do not know what. But that's all that you really got.
That's all we need to know, though. That's all we need to know.
How far is a long distance?
A long distance is 100 feet for most people. A very long distance, I believe, is either 200 or 500. But it's a long-ass way away. The bottom of the sea, even if you are not way out in deep waters, is more than that. It's a couple of miles.
Second question. Is ball considered an object?
Ball is carrying objects.
So, can I phase door out of the thing that she's carrying?
Thought you were doing.
Don't you have to be able to see it?
I have to be aware of it.
Aware of it.
I have to be aware or be able to see it. So if I'm aware that she is underneath us...
It is a very difficult roll, but I will allow you to roll for it.
This is so stupid, and also it shouldn't happen, but I kind of want to see what happens.
Yeah, it is going to be very difficult. It will be a very difficult roll, but you can attempt it.
This is insane.
It is.
This is why they make TTRPGs. This is... Can I phase...
Anything else?
Can I
phase through?
Can I phase through something into, like, your backpack or whatever that you're...
It will have to be something large enough for you to fit through, because you can't fit through a small object. Therefore, it would have to be, like, her clothing.
You just pop out of her shirt. Hello.
I did, in fact, roll in that one, though.
So you phase through the deck.
Yeah, Sybil stands up from the tea ceremony and goes, hold on, and just turns around and, like, walks into a wall.
Yeah. And you end up in the captain's quarters.
That's...
Stumbling out of the closet that Belle's clothing comes from.
That is Ball's shirt.
It was basically going to be you had to roll insanely high.
And then that one doesn't do that.
And that one does not. But you do see that some things in here have been disturbed. And where the calling crystal is mounted, it's been shifted to the side slightly. It's like off kilter.
I don't feel like Sybil is in Ball's room enough to know.
The calling crystal is what you use to communicate with your family. So if you make any calls back home, you would know where that is generally located. And instead of it being like mounted to the I would guess like table or shelving unit that is bolted down that Val has it's like out of its socket and off to the side and kind of shifting a little bit with the boat as it rocks.
She'll go over and put it back. Put it back on the cradle. The phone is off the hook and she has to fix it.
Oh. Okay.
And then just goes back up to the tea ceremony and it's like, that did not work. Just...
Yeah. So valid.
Yeah.
So...
Right. Well, I think Baal is alive. And I think she's maybe communing with her deity.
Okay.
So that's good, right? That can't be... Maybe we shouldn't intrude.
Do we, how much do we actually know about Paradoha in general?
You've had time between the last campaign and this one to have encountered more information. So I will let you go ahead and roll to see if you have
anyone,
learned
you're the one who's
anything.
gonna hit the research books.
No,
Yeah.
4.
4, yeah.
Oh no.
You know that it's some sort of god or goddess or deity of some kind that pays attention to Bal and is some way connected to her, but also vaguely connected
Only
to
whisked
Ace.
us all the way across the city or across the country.
Yeah.
So
Has something to do with change, and Bal has shown you the tattoo of Paradoha's symbol, but that's it.
So, like, are we completely sure that Paradoha didn't, like, pull Ball to, like, eat her or something? Like, sacrifice her? I don't know. She jumped and then untied herself, and it's weird, and it's the middle of the night, and
maybe that's why she untied herself. Maybe her god called to her and she went.
she couldn't just, hey guys, by the way, BRB, like,
I mean, you know how gods are. You saw half the things Jax did didn't make sense.
yeah, but he at least told us. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. But he was at least clear about it.
There's no gods following you around, are there? They make me very nervous.
I don't believe so. I haven't noticed any.
Oh, good.
No,
Please let us know if there are.
Okay.
just the thing on you.
Yeah. The thing on my body, I don't know if that's necessarily a god thing. I think that's just kind of a me thing.
It didn't feel like a god. So that's good.
Yeah. I think that's more of a me thing, if anything.
Honestly, I trust that more than gods, so I'm glad that it's not.
Unclear.
So after about an hour and a half-ish of just swimming against the current, swimming as hard as you can, go ahead and give me a might check for swimming, so it is eased, to basically work your way further down to where whatever this is. And you occasionally get, like, slapped by some sort of fish that you swim past that you didn't see.
15.
15. Not bad. So, yeah, you do manage to get down there. There's the weird, kind of rough, slimy sensation of swimming past seaweed that you can't see as well as you gradually follow whatever this is. The sound is, again, not discordant, just very intense, and you have a vague feeling that you have gotten to the bottom of the sea or ocean, to wherever or whatever it is that she is bringing your attention to.
Cool. I'm gonna try to grab whatever I can that is around me.
Give me an investigation, intellect based, and this is hindered by 2 because you cannot see and there's just a variety of sea growth around you.
I will put 3 levels of effort into this. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so that brings it from 7 back down to
4?
5.
So that's not enough. I rolled a 6.
You find, like, rocks and rough sand and silt and everything that's down at the bottom. You're not sure what it is that you're searching for. You can try again, which would bring it, because it was a 5. It was brought down to a 4.
Didn't you get a nat 20 from the chat?
So it would bump up to a 5 again.
Didn't you, though?
If you put this much effort on it, because trying again would bring it to an 8. So it depends on how much effort you put into it. So even with a nat 20 from chat, you will have to put some sort of effort into finding it because you cannot see and you are surrounded by sea growth.
Fuck it. I'm gonna put 3 levels of effort into this.
Okay, so 3 levels of effort. So that brings it down to a 5.
So 15 or higher.
15 or higher. Are you going to use your nat 20?
Or you're not 20.
Yes, I am going to use my nat 20.
Okay. So
What'd you roll?
I have decided this for no reason.
okay, so your arms get kind of like your arm gets kind of tangled in the seaweed, and you have to use your tentacle to pull it out. And in the process, you stumble a little bit on the ocean floor, and your foot knocks into something. And like reaching down to pick it up because it moved, it wasn't a rock. You find something medium-ish sized that seems to have edges to it. You don't know what it is. You have a feeling that this might be it, though.
Love a shape.
Ooh. I'm gonna just grab onto it really good,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna
Wrapping your tentacle around it.
and then I'm just gonna fucking eject.
You're gonna eject. How are you ejecting?
My bell. I'm gonna use the gravity well. And
Okay.
Gravity my way out of here.
So I believe that your gravity bell, your gravity rattle, let's find its stats. It has a duration of 5 minutes. So for 5 minutes, you affect gravity by ringing the bell box essentially underwater. Luckily, it is watertight, so nothing is getting in there and hindering its action. And there's just this slight ring, this metallic ring of a bell that kind of chimes with the melody that you constantly hear. And for 5 minutes, a 50-foot sphere of water, sand, and various pebbles and shit
Yeah.
rise gradually upward because you are in water. So gravity is not, you're buoyant, so it's not like, oh my god, you're shooting as if you're falling.
I am going to be swimming up, so
Yeah.
that I'm going faster than I was going down.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for depletion to see if it depletes at the end of this 5 minutes.
That was an 18.
Okay, you are fine. So after about 5 minutes, you know that you are much higher in the water. You're not sure by how much.
Yeah.
Doing it again?
Oh, up.
Okay. So you do you give it like a couple of seconds for some of the heavier items that you had been carrying with you to drop, or are you just going to keep bringing the loose debris with you?
No, I'm also going to make sure to be compressed. I don't want to explode.
Okay. So you decompress a little bit, wait a couple of seconds, wait a minute, and then you ring the bell again. Go ahead and roll for depletion after another 5 minutes of travel.
19.
19. Very good. So you get there, your ears are starting to pop, you decompress a little bit more, and one more time.
Oh.
Okay. I didn't know if you were just going to continue swimming on your own.
7.
7? All right.
Yeah. No, I'm fucking going.
Okay,
I don't want to be in the
you are
water.
going. So 7 is still above your your like waiting period roll, because it has not rolled a 2 or 3. Because on a 2 or 3, it has to rest. Essentially, it has to regather energy. And with that last one, you come basically bobbing up out of the water, and all of you on deck watching, maybe 2 hours after all of this has started, you see this sphere of water 50 feet across with a series of fish and some stones that hadn't managed to fully fall out during the decompression periods, and Val just hovering in the center of this sphere, come almost rocketing up out of the ocean, and hovers there for a solid minute and a half of you guys just staring at each other, and then the sphere of water bursts as the gravity reasserts itself, and it all falls, including Bao, into the water. Please make a might check to maintain your hold on the object in hand as you
I
fall.
hope you drop it. I hope you drop it and it goes back into the ocean.
I put 2 levels of effort into this.
Okay. You are really going to need another one of those long rests, aren't you?
So that was a 2.
Oh no. Do you have a free reroll?
You do have another Cypher left.
You got a reroll.
No, because are you giving me my second Cypher back?
Yeah, that's what I have been saying.
Oh,
like, because you guys
that.
are no
I'm
longer
re-rolling them.
restricted on the number of artifacts you can utilize, you have all of your ciphers back.
I didn't realize that was.
There you
Roll
go.
better.
Should
13.
we go
13. That is good. So, like,
Yay.
you plunge into the water a little bit and have to, like, work your way out. And because of that sphere of water, it pushed the jellyfish away. So you can feel your feet bump into the domed tops of the jellyfish as you fall back down and underwater and have to attempt to resurface. So you're kicking at the jellyfish that had remained hovered above you, intent on this something about you that had attracted them.
Let's
and they
throw
are
her a
right
rope.
below you as you are like hovering at the ocean surface.
I think every time I accidentally like kick one, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, sorry, just excuse me, sorry," and then just try to make my way back to the boat, which I assume I saw once I was.
Oh, we've been staring directly at you.
Yeah, you guys were
throw you a
staring
rope
at each other
immediately.
as you like full on avatared your way up in a sphere of water.
Which I apologize to everybody. This is gonna be my main mode of transportation for the rest of my life.
Oh no, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. We're throwing a rope at you, or at least Kale
Immediately.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and just give me one speed check for avoiding interaction with the bad parts of the jellyfish as you swim with one arm and 2 legs, holding
17.
a heavy object.
17.
Very good.
Ooh.
So yes, without difficulty, you do manage to avoid the dangerous parts of the jellyfish and just kind of bump off of them as you get closer to where the rope is just lashing through the water because it's still storming, it is still night, and you're able to grab hold of it and kind of hook your feet around it as well, because you can't climb it easily due to the fact that you are still holding onto this object.
I'm just gonna use my might to...
Yeah, you have multiple people that are able to help you. Yeah, you have multiple people that are able to help you. So you get Val back onto boat. Val, you do end up having to like cough out the water that you had been breathing because it made its way into your body during the breathing process, and you like basically just spit it out as you work your way back onto the boat.
Yeah, I'm switching from
Also-
gill use to lungs.
Yeah. The second you're actually on board and safely not hovering over the water, Kale is going to just rush over and hug you so hard. Like, probably a little bit too hard.
Yeah.
They were very scared.
It hits that kind of sting spot that you've still got from the jellyfish wrapping its tendril around you.
Ah! Yeah,
Sorry.
it's alright. I did. It was everything's fine.
Everything is not fine. Everything's not fine, actually.
Corey kicks one of your boots. Just like as a what the fuck, and then like storms away.
Yeah, I'll say it too. What the fuck?
You were dead.
I'm gonna ignore all of this,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna look at the thing that I just gave panic to everybody for.
You recognize it.
Oh no.
Only vaguely, though.
Oh.
Because
Oh,
it doesn't have the pieces added to it. It looks like the same type of object that Ace had been dealing with, carefully slotting different artifacts into, like a puzzle box. This one has a variety of missing pieces or holes where those artifacts would go. You don't know what the artifacts are. It is obviously an incomplete puzzle box, or has been taken apart in some fashion.
What the fuck is that thing?
It looks like a weird brass object with a variety of empty slots.
I think this is what Ace was working on, or a similar one to that.
Is this what you were called to? Kale will actually finally let you go and step back a little bit, but not before giving you like one more tight squeeze.
Yeah. It was just at the bottom of the ocean.
Sort of like it was lost at sea off of another ship that was possibly traveling.
You swam to the bottom of the ocean without saying anything about. Okay,
Well, I wasn't aware that that's what I was doing until it happened.
that makes it better.
Why did you jump in because you heard this song?
No, I thought we might be being followed by like some sort of sea creature. I wanted to cut it off at the pass before it became a problem. But then
Oh,
once I
like
got
the
it
sea serpents. You
The
were going to
jelly-
speak to it?
right, but then as soon as I hit the water, the song became louder, clearer, and it was like it was directing me. And I didn't want to potentially lose that connection by breaching the water before I was done with whatever it was that it was calling me to.
To this.
I It's
So what-
also what I saw Ace working on yesterday. But a similar one anyway.
What is it?
If my theory is correct, this is what caused that big bad thing that you both felt.
Oh, the disruption.
Uh,
That's
Yeah.
a very dangerous item then.
Does this thing look like it's been under the water for like a very long time, or okay?
you are muted.
You are muted.
It has a bit of barnacle growth. It's definitely dingy. It's very old, but it is also brass, which means that it is not particularly conducive. Oh, shit. What the fuck?
Bye.
Can you guys...
Bye.
Bye, you.
See ya.
Hey, everyone.
And
Oh,
that's
shit.
the game.
Oh, shit.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh
He's
no.
gone.
Did we-
Oh no.
Did we maintain connection to Twitch? I'm hoping we maintained connection to
We're
Twitch.
all
We did.
we're all rotating around the
They
screen.
all
Oh, no,
saw
we're
it.
back,
Oh,
back.
we're
Everybody
back.
going
We're back, and
everywhere.
everyone's
We're
in the
good.
same spot roughly.
Yeah, my dock, my external dock, that
Oh no.
my camera and a variety of other things are connected to disconnected, but
I love that.
my mic remained
No.
connected, and all of my like visuals are based off of computer stuff.
Right.
Hopefully,
Hey, you're back.
yeah,
Oh my
hopefully
God,
the
good
job.
Twitch did not lose connection.
No,
It's still
No,
live,
it's
still
fine.
streaming.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
We're good.
All right, so as I was saying, it's
You
feeding
are
from
on
the
side of
wrong
the-
camera. Feeding
That's
from
cool.
the wrong camera. Here we go. Hi. So brass is not particularly conducive to bacterial growth and a variety of other things, which is why it's used for a number of things like modern days. So it's probably better off than if something else had been underwater for a prolonged period of time, but it is definitely and very obviously old and has been down there for a long time.
love. So this isn't the thing that caused the disruption, but it's something that could cause a disruption.
I think it's a sibling to what caused the disruption.
Cool.
It sounds like it's something that needs further research.
I'm really torn because I'm actually really mad at you, but I want to touch it. Can I touch it, please?
Of course, and I hand it over.
I want to investigate this thing.
Okay. Roll to investigate it.
I don't think I'm gonna learn anything else
Yeah.
from it.
I
Just
have
kidding.
returned. I have returned, so you do have my my additional.
I got an 18.
18.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Very nice. You can tell that it seems to be some sort of puzzle box for artifacts. It is not in itself an artifact, at least not without being completed.
Oh.
You don't know what it does, but it does have that distinct, like, mechanical pattern to it, that distinct look that a variety of the artifacts that you guys have encountered, especially your parents, had dug up before. You haven't seen this specific one, and therefore you don't know what it does. But you can tell that it is meant to hold a variety of objects, and that as you put the objects in, like kind of poking into some of the slots that those artifacts would go, it would potentially shift or move. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pull out the amplifier.
Okay.
I'm gonna try with Sybil's help, preferably. I'm gonna try to see. I'm not gonna put it in if it does, but I want to see if there's any space that would fit.
Okay. So you had the amplifier on you the entire time instead of storing it on the boat?
I did not take anything off of me.
Okay.
The safest place for my things to be is with me.
That's
Okay.
right.
So, yes, there is a spot that it would potentially be able to fit.
Well, that's a problem.
Why is it a
that?
problem?
Well, we know. Well, so people from Islanders, they're looking for this thing, or at least something similar, at least as far as I remember. But this in itself doesn't really do much. It's just, at least as far as I'm aware, I hear God laughing at me.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah. Strange. Is Evie frozen or?
No, she's just thinking.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just looking down so that I stop reacting.
As far as I'm aware, this doesn't really do much. I haven't really used it at all. But if they're looking, if this orb is the same thing that caused that disturbance, that because Vay is putting it together, and this amplifier fits into that thing, and they're also looking for an amplifier, then it could follow that they also have one of these balls and are missing pieces. And that's why they're so obsessed with the artifacts of all.
You said you saw Ace with one of those?
The ball, yeah.
It's not exactly ball shaped. It's like sort of two boxy pyramids smashed together.
Like a millennial artifact.
Well, yeah, sort of like if you took two of the Mayan or Aztec pyramids that has the steps, and then put them base to base.
So they're kind of like a really jaggedy D8.
Yeah.
I need to talk to my mom. That's a tomorrow problem. It's actually a right.
I mean, you could call home if you needed to.
She'll think something's wrong if I call in the middle of the night. It's fine. I can talk to her in the morning. This is weird and bad. Why? I just have a lot of questions. Why was this calling to you? Why was it at the bottom of the ocean? How long has it been down there? What is it for? Who made it?
Because Paradoha wanted me to have it, because it probably sunk with a ship.
But there weren't any other things down there with it. It was just this. There weren't, like, you didn't just miss the other artifacts down there. You can't just go back down there and check.
I mean, I could, but I don't have any way to see them, man.
Yeah. There at least, for meta purposes, there at least was nothing within 25 feet.
Yeah, since you took the
Because it's a 25-foot radius, 50-foot diameter.
Yeah. Is the song still going? Like, is it still drawing me down?
It's just kind of faint.
Or is it back to
yeah, it's faint at the back of your
Around.
head now.
Yeah.
And the song is calm, so I assume if there was anything else down there that he wanted me to grab, it would have still been going crazy.
Right. Well, if your god calls to you again, can you please let us know before you jump in the water?
Right.
We really did think that you were dead.
Oh, me in the ocean? No. Never.
Okay, but we don't we can't see in the dark, most of us, and
Most of them.
there was a big thing in there, and we thought that you were
Oh, yeah,
dead, and we
everything.
didn't have any way of knowing whether or not you were dead. So communication would be so cool.
Well,
And
they're
These
just
are
jellyfish.
Corey's aliens too.
What?
Aliens? Is that what you said?
I said you hurt Corey's feelings too.
That makes a lot
The-
more
the-
sense
the
than
captions said
there's
alien.
aliens too.
The captions are not my friend, okay?
The captions are never anyone's friends.
That's real. You did. You hurt Corey's feelings. You hurt my feelings. I was pretty sure we were going to fish your corpse out in the morning.
Why?
Why?
Yeah. This is
Because
my,
we care about you, Ball.
this is
What
my
did you
world.
think?
Oh, she's not going.
And
to-
I was freaked out. Like I didn't know what was going on either.
I don't know what kind of god Paradoha is. I didn't know if Paradoha wanted like to eat your soul or whatever and was drawing you into the ocean to kill you. I don't know. I don't know these things. You have to tell us what you're doing, please. Please.
All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to freak you out.
Hale actually turns their back on you and just walks away to the other end of the ship, and they're going to sit down and put their head in their hands, and you can't see what's going on, but they are definitely crying. It's that like you were so stressed for so long, then the relief all hits you at once. So they're
Yeah.
they're just over there now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I'm going to bed.
with you guys separating to handle the like downswing from all of that stress and anxiety and having to swim to the bottom of the ocean, so your body is feeling it. I'm gonna say that is where we end for the day, and we will pick up back on our way to Polyurna, theoretically, in the morning after another 10-hour recovery period, in which you can do your variety of
Hell
recovery
yeah.
rolls as necessary.
How I fucking need it.
You used some effort.
You used a lot of effort, like
There's a lot of effort going on.
repeatedly. But yeah, so good job, guys. You discovered that Bal attracts various magical oceanic creatures while sailing. That's not going to come back and bite you in the butt.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Um,
I'm sure it'll never come up again.
Never.
Nope.
We're going to attach her to a rope and we're going to just put her behind the ship. And that's just where.
Yeah, she'll
Believe it or
just,
not,
yeah, she'll
believe it
just
or
like
not,
Where's
water
the captain
ski.
from?
Yeah, she'll just water ski behind the ship as
Yes.
like a.
Are you going to
like?
fuel haul me? Are you serious? This
No,
is
like
what's
it's
happening?
water.
No, you're
skiing.
water. I mean,
skiing.
to be fair, you did
water
it to
skiing
yourself.
/
Yeah.
bait on a hook for
It's
whatever is
keel-hauling,
behind
but
you.
for fun.
Yeah.
Hoping I
We
can look
invent
up
water
what keel
skiing.
hauling is.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
It
But
just never
anyway,
existed before.
That looks unpleasant.
What, keel hauling?
Yeah, I'm Googling
Oh, yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah,
No,
by the
don't.
way, you canonically know that this has happened to Val before.
all right. So,
True.
who's getting the asset to the archivist that you are gifting?
Wu, probably.
But I don't know who Wu is.
No.
Hauling is nasty.
It is nasty. It is very
Yes.
aggressively damaging and violent. Um,
God damn.
but whoever needs it,
Whoever needs it all.
We
Okay.
all do.
yeah, they all kind of do.
Well,
But
I vote
yes,
for Sybil.
so great job. You guys get another rest, and if you manage to get yourself back on track and towards Polyarna, I don't know if you are deciding to continue in that direction, you would be able to reach it the next day. But we will end there for today since we are technically over time by a little tiny bit. And let's go ahead and go around in reverse this time for who we are, where you can find us. So, Alina.
Hey everybody, it's me, Alina Pete. I am they them, and I've been playing Kale, who's also they them. It just probably if you're watching this and it's past this week, it'll be too late for this. But I have a TED Talk coming up this Friday in Victoria at Railroads University. It'll be available online afterwards, but I think there's still a few tickets available. So go to TEDxRRU and check it out. It's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna talk about comics and how to use comics to teach.
Very cool.
Hell
so
yeah.
amazing. I love it. Next would be Joel.
Hello, I'm Joel. I am staff at Alter Echo Archives. You can find me here every other Sunday and every other Friday playing Val Mistforge and Senor Fluffington, both of which are going through a lot of. I keep saying they're going through, but they're putting themselves through a lot more so. It's a lot of it, most of it is self-inflicted. Really. Both campaigns are great. I have a lot of fun here. Outside of here, I have a Patreon where I'm posting my drafts and my stories and all the stuff that I write. I write. Hello. So if you want to read it, you can do it through there. If you want to support me more directly, I have a coffee. And I also have a throat, which you can just support me at. And then if you want to keep in touch, I just recently accessed my Blue Sky. I'm going to try to post on there more frequently to actually have somewhere other than Discord to post my things. But if you, I probably still act the most active at our Discord, Echo Archives Discord.
Very cool. I'm also going to link our Discord if you
Yeah,
want
do it.
to chat with us.
It's good.
We
post
it's
a lot
already
of
in
gifs.
the description if you are
It's
watching
mostly
this later on
gifs.
YouTube. And
They're really good though.
if you are watching live, it is in chat. But yeah, so that's basically the easiest way to chat with all of us. We also have a realm of our own over on Moonbeam. It's called The Archives, but it's called that because we intend to have people outside of AEA also streaming on there. But yeah, so come chat on Discord with Joel, and that's where you're going to get most of the notifications on what they're doing. And then Amanda.
Hey everyone, my name is Amanda, aka Panda Cabra. I use she, her pronouns, and I have been Varen Lek, also using she, her. Find me here every other Sunday on Altered Echo Archives, as well as every other Friday for Fairy Tale Fridays, where I play Rosa and Thorn, and sometimes Lady Kyla, the knight from the past. Yeah, so that's a really fun time. You can find me over on Blue Sky most of the time, as well as Discord. I'm also a member of the Discord, and I usually like to post gifts as we play in the AP Hype channel. Definitely check that out. I am not doing much else besides looking for work. I am unemployed, and money is hard. So feel free to, if there's any marketing or social media or any sort of media stuff, video editing, photography, graphic design that you need, feel free to hit me up.
Yeah.
Let me know how I can help you.
And also, I'm sure that there's coffee on your or something like that on your.
There is. I do have
tree.
a link to my coffee.
Yeah.
As
So
well as
so
on my
yeah,
link tree.
if you want to support the people that you see on screen, follow the necessary links to send them some support, like support your artists and support your entertainment. So spread the word also
That's
that
These days. Oof.
Amanda does some awesome tech assistance and such. So,
Yeah.
and then Maggie,
That's me.
that's
Hello.
you.
I'm Maggie. I've been Sybil. I am mostly active on various social media platforms, which you can follow me on. There's, I'm sure, a link in the chat there. And periodically I play on other people's streams and other streams on this channel even. But other than that, I don't exist on the internet because I'm in graduate school. Goodbye.
Because you're
That's all.
smart.
And I'm not actually, and that's why
don't
I'm
go
in
with
grad
social
school.
media.
Don't
Yeah,
do it.
grad school takes it out of you. Grad school takes it
Yeah.
out of you. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Mhm.
our lovely grad student. So, and then of course, to round it out, hi, I'm Evie. My pronouns are she, they, or any. I'm the director of Altered Echo Archives and our primary GM at present. I am normally found here. Running both of our Cypher games and the occasional little one-shot side game for different holidays and such. But you can also find me on Fuzka's channel. Shout out Fuzka. Every Saturday, I think, most Saturdays, for the short run campaign, Echoes of something. I'm forgetting the name of the.
Alkenstar, isn't it? No, that's Outlaws.
Yeah. Echoes of Ruin. Yeah.
There we go.
Echoes of Ruin, where I am playing Shatterkai Warlock for stuff that is happening. I cannot reveal much more because we've only had 2 sessions. But yeah, so you can see me as a player instead of running a game over on that channel most Saturday evenings. And they have an absolutely amazing cast over there as well, so you should definitely check them out. But yeah, so if you want to chat with me, I have my socials on my link tree, and you can catch me in our Discord because that's kind of where I live. But yeah, so we will wrap it up. Tune in next Friday for an installment of Fairy Tale Friday. Yet to be determined on whether it will be the primary campaign or the history, as we will be missing Vrak/Sev for
That's
that
me.
session because Alina will be
I will
out.
literally giving a TED talk when the game is happening.
Yeah, so
So I can't be at game.
yeah, so we will see which it ends up being, and possibly a guest. We will see. But yeah, so tune in on Friday or join us in 2 weeks for the next installment of Empyrean Wilds. Thank you so much, and stick around for whoever we end up rating. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.